zone.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's Sam Cook now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd down and 4. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Four yards remain for 2nd down. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On third and short, going with their tight end. And he will have a Broncos first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Out to his left. Able to get this to Gordon. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The kick by McManus is good, and that will do it for this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter. Being chased out left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flush to his right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Jackson looking to throw on third. This is caught by Williams. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up first and goal.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Murray. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Hey, report! 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 You think you gonna get that? You think you gonna get that? Bang, 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 bang. 45. Report! 45. I don't even know why this team showed.
To throw is Jackson. Flushed out right. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. Accelerating, and off he goes. Past the 20, 10, 5. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
So now the Broncos offense will come out here as they'll try to add on 2 more. Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
They go play action with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. To throw is Bridgewater. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Sam Martin now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any...
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Things just kind of continuing to unravel for him here in this second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turn the ball over.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. It's a gain of 3 on what will be the final play of this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And McManus able to put it through, and that one ups the lead to 22-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Single receiver.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
They'll look to run for it with Williams. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tavon Young in on the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. First down and more for Jackson. And he will finally go out of bounds, but not before he takes it down to the 25. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
He's crashing. He's checking crashing.
Jackson now. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Throwing, Jackson. Steps away to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And once he got out of the pocket, you thought that maybe he'd take off with it, especially here in the 2-minute drill. Sometimes defenses are focused so much downfield that there's room to run, but this time he decided to throw it unsuccessfully.
Jackson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens get a bit closer. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. And hold the phone now. This game isn't over yet.
Not at all. Now, get the football back. That's the first thing. However you do it, get the ball back and then manipulate the clock with your offense because you've got to get the ball into the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all of their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand. So often on these RPOs, we see the ball get from the quarterback to the receiver in what feels like a nanosecond. But on this play, he actually cleared coverage downfield a bit before the ball got to him. The net result, though, a considerable gain.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So jumping from his free safety spot.
That tells you how aggressive they are on defense, doesn't it? They get everyone involved. He was a little too fast on that play.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time, they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
McManus's point after is good. And the lead is up to 15 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
he would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
13. Go.
Jackson to throw. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance. Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
No, we change it. 36. Check 26, check 26.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And that's complete to Brown. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. So on 4th down, a big-time completion. And the defense, they've got to be shaking their heads right now.
Not only shaking their heads, but understand that they committed one of those cardinal sins that they say they can't do at any time. They committed an eye violation, had their eyes in one place, and allowed the deep ball behind them.
Now Brown, oh, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. The 20. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Here's Jackson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Kill, turn up. Yo.
One last shot for Jackson. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And they say it's never easy to come into Denver to win because of the altitude. They look pretty comfortable in the altitude.
They certainly did. I'm not quite sure how they got prepared. And it's always been a big debate about what to